Okay, so we're recording. Um, okay, so if you don't know me very well, I'm Crystal, and Lindsay asked me to lead this call tonight, and I hope that I'll bring a little bit different of a perspective from the time management of the business activity tracker. And so I'm going to go through all of this as if you don't know what I'm talking about. So hopefully maybe I'll over explain and like fill in some gaps where maybe you are not super sure about some things. I'm kind of going to teach or treat you like my students. So Paige totally understands. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through this, and I just have the free Zoom account, and so we have 40 minutes. When it's done, and it'll kind of keep me from getting long-winded and taking up too much time tonight, but I hope to give you a lot to go off of. So I'm going to start by kind of going through notes. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go through the business activity tracker. Hopefully you have these printed off. You can find them in the back office, in the coach's online office. We have them in the team page. They're in the new coach training. And so they're everywhere. If you don't have these, there's two different ways that I've seen people to do this. You can either print out like 52 of them and have one for a brand new page for each week of the year, or I like to put mine in a like a little sleeve, and then I use a dry erase marker, and I just use the same paper all the time, and then I take all my people that I've been talking to and I put them into my, I use Google Streak. So that's what works for me, but you do what works for you. So I'm just going to kind of go through this tracker and kind of explain everything. So first of all, be the proof the products work. So your workout and drinking psychology, that is the most important part of this, to take care of yourself, to show your journey, to show that what we're talking about is working, and that we're not just here to sell you things, but we are doing everything that we talk about ourselves. And so to do your workout and your Shakeology should be non-negotiables for you, because you've got to take care of yourself. And I would really like to put the personal development into that space as well. I think that's something super, super important, especially when you're new as a coach. All the fears and the hesitations and everything that's going on up here, even if you've gone through the training, even if you've been taking the steps, it's still there. And I'm almost 2 years into this, and sometimes it's still there. And so the personal development, 15 to 20 minutes of it every day, I think that's should be up there in the vital behaviors as well. So that's the first couple parts of that, and I feel like that's an easy one that I like checking off every day, because I'm like, shoot, that's easy, let's just do that. So now we're going to go into the second part, the connect, invite, and follow up. So there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different methods of initiating connections and adding followers. For a long time, for probably the past 6 or 8 months, third-party things were working really, really well. STEM Social, 21 Social, lately, and we're going to find this all the time. Instagram is going to be changing all the time because they've got to stay ahead of us. And so it used to be on Facebook, and they're like trying to push out to anybody who looked like they were trying to sell something, even if we're doing it the right way. Like, they just kind of know. Any call to actions, they're just not being seen as much. So anyway, now Instagram is all over anything that looks like third-party growth. And so we've all got rid of our STEM Social accounts, and so it's going to have to be done a different way. And I want to say a more authentic way, but I think STEM Social was like authentic because they were finding followers, and we were still going in and talking to people and making connections, but we're going to have to do more of that now. So I just want to talk to you about how you can do that. It's going to be much slower growing, but it's going to be way more authentic. And so what I do, and I don't know that we'll have time to actually do this. We might circle back around and actually do it, but I want you to take notes so that you can when you've got work time, or if we can get to it as well. So you're going to go to an account that you enjoy, that's not Beachbody related. It has nothing to do with Beachbody. You're not going to go to Shakeology. You're not going to go to Carl Deichler's. It's going to be something that you enjoy. And honestly, I started my business not having an Instagram, so I struggle with this because I'm like, I don't have accounts that I like to follow because I just started my Instagram for this business. And so But then I go back to like podcasts that I really like. So I like listening to Risen Motherhood, and I like listening to Awesome Marriage, the Life Church podcast. And so I'll go to those accounts and I'll just start scrolling their followers. And so you can do two different ways here. You can kind of do like what the third party growth people do, and they just follow. And so then hopefully after all the followers, you'll get a portion of them that follow you back. And then you can go from there. Or you can be very particular about who you're actually following. And this is what I've been doing lately. And it's been getting more authentic connections. And so I'll click on the girl whose picture catches my eye because she looks like my chick. And so then I'll go and I'll click follow. And then if she's got a public page, then I'll comment on some pictures, 2 or 3 pictures. I'll like the pictures, comment on them, and then I'll send her a message. Now, most of my people, quite honestly, are going to have private accounts because they're my people. Like mine would be private if I wasn't doing this. And so I will just go through and I'll follow them. Hopefully they'll look through my stuff, like what I'm spilling, and then follow me back. And when I see that on my profile that they have followed back, then I go in and I send the welcome message. So my welcome message, and changes to sound like you, but mine's like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, I just wanted to say thank you so much for following my faith and fitness and motherhood journey. I really hope that I'm sharing quality inspiration here, and I just wanted to say thank you for the follow. I haven't been asking any questions like I used to. I feel like that was not getting a whole lot of responses, and now that I just say straight up like thank you for following, they're like, oh yeah, thanks, I like all the things, thanks for reaching out. And so then I can really go from there to create those connections. Don't worry so much about if they never message you back, because they're either going to just be watching you for a while, and that's okay. And then if they keep watching you, keep watching your stories, then you can reach back out later. Or they're just going to ignore you and whatever, and that means they're not your people. So that's okay. Like, don't get too hung up on that. So that's initiate connections and add followers. And so on your business activity tracker, it's got 20 minutes. Genuinely, you just need to map out what your work hour looks like. And adjust from there. And so me personally, I'm a high school teacher. And so I've got specific hours during my plan that I can get away with working on this. And then I've got, like 45 minutes to an hour before bed. And so I think you just need to adjust it accordingly to what fits your life. So that's how I've been doing that lately. Social media posts. We won't really go into that. You did a lot of that in the new coach training. So the stories, I really like how it gives you some ideas for stories, talking about your daily life, doing your workout clips, drinking your shake, not necessarily holding it up and saying, yay, Shakeology, but just, your daily dose of nutrition, or your brainless mom food, or the easiest breakfast you've ever made. Just like not using brand names, but making it be like, why should I, looking at your clip, why would I want that shake? Oh, I want that shake because that was an easy meal. So that kind of stuff. Sharing your meals or your meal preps. And so I feel like in the beginning, a lot of times you get stuck. You're like, oh, I'm not nothing special. Like I have nothing to share. Look through there and just share things that you think is like nothing, because I guarantee somebody watching it, you just changed their day. Like, whether that was just a meal that they didn't know that they liked, or whether that was inspiration because you got your butt out of bed and you did a workout, like everything that you share is going to change at least one person's life. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so moving on down to respond to all new likes, comments, or views. So we're talking about likes on your posts, and this is kind of scary for a lot of people I don't know for why, but really this is talking about your lead generator posts. So on Mondays and Thursdays, we do lead generators, and those are the ones where we're like, it's a call to action. I think you've had a post about that in the new coach mentorship, but you want to talk about your story. Like, what has this done for you? How has this changed your life? and what are you offering to people? Because we don't want to be all spammy about it, but we still we don't want to be secretive about the things that we are here to offer you. And so putting that out there and putting a call to action, like message me for more information, drop an emoji for whatever. I can't tell you which ones work the best because I have no idea which ones work the best. And really, you're rarely ever going to get a lot of traction from a call to action post. That's why we go back to that post the next day. So tonight I put up a lead generator. So tomorrow when I sit down and do my work hours, I'm going to look through everybody who just liked the picture. I'm going to send them a very vague invite, just be like, thank you so much for the love on that post. Maybe it was something that I put up that was hard to put out there. And I could be like, it's hard to share my journey, but I hope it inspired somebody. Were you looking for more information to join my May group? And just put it out there. Just liking them just thanking them for liking it. And then just kind of a soft invite. So that's going to go out to the people who just liked it. And then people who comment, obviously you want to reach out and really build up and ask them questions like, hey, I saw that you commented on it. Are you looking for a fitness routine? Are you looking for a community? Are you struggling with nutrition? Like getting to know their pain points before you're just like, hey, here's some information. Here's how much it costs. And then they'll never talk to you again because it's going to scare them away. But we need to know like what they want and how we can help them. And then by the time you get to the price thing, then the objection isn't as strong because a lot of times we see that it's just totally worth it. And so that's where we're inviting to, and then views, going to your stories and seeing who is viewing all the way through. So I won't really reach out to somebody that watched like the first 2 stories because they were probably people that are like, meh, I'm done. And they, swiped on. And they don't need me reaching out to them. But somebody who has sat there and watched through all of them, so I'll go to like the last story that I did, and I'll go through and I'll just reach out to people that have been viewing. And that's not going to look the same for every single person. Sometimes it's people who are brand new, who I just need to say, hi, thank you for following. Sometimes it's people I've been talking to forever and inviting forever, but they're still sticking around and they're still engaging. And so you just reach out and you re-engage with them. But it just depends on the person. But don't ever, if somebody is showing up every single day, like their name is always there, they're always watching your stories, don't psych yourself out. Just reach out and just talk to them. You don't have to invite, just reach out and talk to them, make that connection because they already kind of know you because they're showing up and they're watching your stories. Like they know you more intimately than probably a lot of other invites that you're sending out because they're watching your stories. So you can spend a lot of time doing and get a lot of good invites out from that section. So from there, invite however many people, set your goal. Don't complicate that too much. Just put a number in there and just do it to join a challenge group or learn about coaching. And that really depends on what the week is. It seems like we're kind of like, I chunk out my month by when I need to, like 2 weeks in advance, I need to start inviting to my boot camp or my challenge group or whatever you want to call it. And then 2 weeks out from our coach op, I'm inviting to that. And so you can look at our calendar that we've got on the team page and really kind of I just do a 2-week chunks, and that's what I'm inviting to. I would like to say that I'm inviting to the coaching every single day regardless, but if I'm inviting to a boot camp, I am also talking to them about coaching because it's the same, sign up with a challenge pack as a customer or coach. So it's like I kind of count them for both if I'm talking about a challenge group. Okay, and then follow up with people you've invited. And so this is why it's super, super, super important. When you are talking to people, and that, on the back of the tracker, it's got a list for where you can write people's names down. This is where you need to write their names down. I don't write down everybody's name that I have just started talking to, but if I have invited and they have responded back, their name gets written down. In the beginning, I did a horrible job of this because I wasn't talking to that many people, to be honest. But as you do this week by week, the people start to add up. And I would love to be able to tell you that I can remember everybody and we're besties already and I'm never going to forget them, but you're going to. We're going to forget these people. So write them down so that you can follow up. Very, very rarely, I can't even tell you what the percentage is, maybe 3% of the people who, when they first ask for information, will say yes. The only time people do that for me is when I grew up with them, I went to high school with them, I went to college with them, they've known me forever. If you're in your cold market, it's going to take follow-up after follow-up after follow-up, and you are going to feel like a nag, and you're going to feel like you're being annoying. But if they keep responding to your follow-ups, they're still there. If they're still watching your stories, they're still there. They're just not ready yet, and that's okay. When they get to that time, they'll know that you are the person for that, and they will be ready. So honestly, I'm just not, like, I'm 2 years into this, and I'm getting people these past couple months that ghosted me forever and ever, probably 5 or 6 follow-ups, never said anything, and then now when they're ready, then they know that I'm the person that's here for them. So just keep following up, and just don't feel like a nag, because when they do say yes, then you've changed their lives. So they know they can come back to you for that. Okay, let's see how I'm doing on time. See, I gotta stick to my notes, guys, because I talk a lot. Okay, get people results. And so honestly, this says 30 minutes. I don't ever spend 30 minutes on this, to be honest, so I don't know that it needs to be that huge of a task. So contribute to your challenge group. So that's just getting into your challenge group. After you've done your workout, get in and log your workout. After you've done your Shakeology, get in and log that Shakeology. Scroll through there for a little bit. Most of us right now are on the My Challenge tracker. If you're not, you're on Facebook, and then they're basically the same. They're just in 2 different apps. So just scroll through there for a little bit. Make sure nobody's asked a question, or love on them. Like take the time to love on the people that are showing up in your challenge group, because they're the people already said yes. So the people that you want them to keep coming around, that you've committed to and that you're working for. So, and that does not take very long to get in there and love on some other people. Recognize achievement. And so this can be anybody. This can be people that are rock stars in your challenge group. This can be your peers, maybe people that you've gone through the mentorship together. And you guys are accountability partners and you're pushing each other. This can be your husband who's supporting you on this journey, like sharing about how you've got support from here and everywhere. And this can be, sometimes it'll be other people that I like to follow that have nothing to do with Beachbody. They just deserve shout out. And so I just feel like when you are recognizing other people, it just kind of fills into the positive vibe that we have in a loving community, and we're going to love you and we're going to recognize your awesomeness even if you aren't a part of our team. So I think that's really, I overcomplicated that for a long time. That's why I wanted to explain that, because I was like, I really don't have any challengers that are doing a great job right now, and I don't really have any coaches that are rock stars yet. But I think it's just recognizing other people, showing love to other people. And then response to questions from customers and coaches, and sometimes that won't take any time at all because you might not have any. So, but just making sure you're taking the time to get in, and I think that a lot of that's in your challenge group. And I've gotten in the habit lately, and if you use Gmail, you can schedule emails. And so I've been scheduling weekly emails to all of my challenge people, and I do BCC so they don't know that they're all getting the exact same message, but it's just individualized. Like, I just want to check in on you and see if there's anything else I can do for you this week. I have it scheduled for Wednesdays, just so that I'm kind of talking to them midweek, because sometimes they're like, oh, I haven't been doing anything at all this week. I'm like, okay, it's Wednesday, like you can start now. So I think that's just kind of a time saver where you're not sitting there like blah, 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 every single person and sitting in, a new one, but you can schedule that. You can BCC, and then they don't know that it's a mass email. So, okay. And then personal development, we kind of went over that. So personal development, personal and professional. And I think you need to sprinkle in both. So, I think the personal development is like strengthening your mindset, and, it could be your faith. It could be reading your Bible. It could be, the personal mental stuff. And then professional development is like business savvy. So there's a lot of different really good books. You can get them on Audible, or you can sit down and read them. And I mean, I hate to throw a bunch of the names out there because everybody's got such different taste. Like Grant Cardone, is a really, really huge name in this industry for like professional development, but he's kind of brash and likes to say curse words, and so you might not like him, but he's really good. Tony Robbins is like, that kind of guru. So I know Lindsay's got a bunch of them in the team page, but I think we've got to keep in mind that we need personal and professional development as well, like business type savvy things. So how am I doing on time? My thing will pop up. We have 12 minutes. Okay. So I kind of breezed through that. I know it wasn't a lot of intentional work time, but for those of you who needed kind of some explanation on the little things, I wanted to provide that for you. So let's do, while we've got some time, let's go in and do initiate connections and add followers. And I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes because I feel like even if you're not in the mindset to do a ton of invites right now, this will still move you forward because you're connecting with people, and that's what this boils down to. So I'm setting a timer right now. What I am doing is getting into my Instagram. I'm going to go follow or go search for an account that I like. Risen Motherhood is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to click on their followers and then just kind of scroll. So I do like to check out their profile as long as it's public. Make sure that they're not obviously in another MLM type thing. Arbonne is huge right now. I get a lot of messages from Arbonne chicks, which is fine. But just make sure that they're going to be your people. Don't put too much thought into it, just follow. Don't worry about what they think, just follow. Because you could be following your new bestie.
Somebody else talking?
No, we're working. No, we couldn't find it. That's why we're watching it on here. Okay. That is the timer. One thing I was going to share, we were talking about, oh shoot, running out of time. It'll end in 8 minutes. Okay. Oh no. Just about upgraded. Okay. We talked about in our business accountability group chat on Saturday how Instagram is being crazy with the third party stuff. How are we going to kind of manage the follow and follow thing? And so what that is real fast, follow and follow is kind of a growth way. And so you're following all these people. Some of them are going to follow you back. Yay, you're going to connect with them. Those are your people. People that don't follow you back, you don't even follow them anymore unless you like them and you want to follow them. And so I am not an expert here. I have no proof behind this, but in growing my apparel business, I've been doing that by myself for past 4 months or so. And it's grown substantially by me following people. And then I have an unfollow app, and it's called Unfollow. It's not the cleaner one, but it's literally called Unfollow. I don't know if you, yeah, that's not going to work, but it's just called Unfollow. It was a couple bucks, like maybe $4, but it will go through and 200 at a time. It will unfollow. Like I can just click what I want them to select. So I can click people who have not followed me. I can click ghost followers. I can click anything that I want, and it'll unfollow. I haven't had any mean messages from Instagram, like a couple of people have. I've had really good success with it. So I can't tell you that Instagram's not going to be picky about those things. I can tell you that we're pretty small fish in the Instagram world. I think that under 20,000 followers, I don't know if they're super worried about us, quite honestly. And so it's been working really good for me. There's a lot of questions about like the followers to how many people you're following ratio. I don't think you need to get too bent out of shape about that, but I think it does look better when you've got more followers than people you are following. Does it need to be like this? I don't think so, but I think it does look better, and I think Instagram leaves you alone more when they're like, I don't know, closer to being even, if that makes sense. So if taking time to unfollow people is annoying like it is to me, I just want the app to do it for me. And so I just do it like Sunday nights. Or if I don't, I do it one day a week. So I'll follow all week. And then people have not followed me back by then. I'm like, man, you're not my people because you not follow me back, or you're not on Instagram and I need you to be there. And so I'll just unfollow and then keep going from there. So again, I'm not an expert on that, but I haven't found any research that says that app is a no-no. So that might help to not take so much time to do the follow and follow thing. So that's really helped me out a lot. Okay, I have 4 minutes. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was going to ask questions.
With that app, how does it know who to unfollow?
I tell it. And so let me click in there. So I can take, I know you're not going to be able to see this, but I'll just talk through it. So I can select certain people that I want to, and it tells me if they're following me back or not. So I can hand select who I want it to unfollow, or I can take action and tell it to select, and it will select non-followers, or it will select ghost users, or it will select inactive users. So I can either hand pick who I want it to, or it'll just select all of them. It won't do any more than 200 actions at a time. So like if 600 people didn't follow me back, it will only do 200 at a time, and then it'll wait an hour, and then it will do 200 more. So I think that's really good because Instagram does not like mass action like that. So that's been really nice. So yeah, it'll show you if they're following you back or not.
Okay. And what was that called again?
Unfollow.
Okay.
It's a red icon, and it's got like 4 boxes and 3 of them are checked.
Okay.
Unfollow. And it is a paid one, but it wasn't very much. And it's not like a monthly subscription. It was just a one-time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions? It's going to kick us off in 3 minutes. Good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop it, honestly, because I'm tired and I'm done working and I'm ready to go to bed. So I hope this was helpful. I'll get this uploaded into the team page and into the mentorship group. Hold on, let me check out the chat real fast. Yeah, for sure, Lexi. Choose a pic with a lot of comments and look at their profiles. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, don't worry about it. If they need to hear it, they're ready to hear it. And like with invites, there's a lot of days that I'm like, well, gonna change her life, send. Like, well, I could change her life, send. Well, she's got kids, I resonate with her, send. Like, I have to like psych myself up, like, yep, send, just send, because I'm like, okay, this could be a potential. And if they don't like what I'm spilling, they don't like what I'm spilling, and it won't work for them. But and along with that is some of the people that I feel like I've had to like, I don't want to say the word talk into, but like talk into this, they don't do very good because they just aren't ready. And so I wish I would have just kind of not talk them into it as quickly and just let them kind of come to it more themselves. And I feel like they're the ones that I'm like dragging along every month that I'm like checking on all the time. So I think there is some value into just maybe slowing down a little bit and let them, I don't know, make that decision themselves. Yeah. Okay. Okay, girls, thanks for hopping on. I really appreciate your time. I hope this was helpful. Okay. All right. Let's stop.